Marriage is like a tense, unfunny version of Everybody Loves Raymond, only it doesn't last 22 minutes, it lasts forever. Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast. This is episode 23, our Air Jordan episode. I am your host, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you've not listened to us before, welcome. We are a couple bros who like to talk superheroes, movies, and superhero movies. Let's go meet the fellow bro joining me tonight, our resident heel, Matt Geiger. Matt, what's going on, man?
It could be the LeBron James episode, too, depending on what generation you're born in.
Who? Exactly. Right. I'm not a big orchestra fan, so I'm not sure what that guy does. Guys, before we get the show started today, I want to give a shout out to Miguel Herrera, who correctly guessed the movie quote from our previous episode. Congrats, Miguel. Tip of the cap. You have officially entered the Bro 4 Squad Hall of Fame, which I think is more prestigious than the WNBA Hall of Fame. All right, guys, this week we're going to do it a little bit different. We're not going to do our typical chest day and protein shake because there were so many great questions out there on the internet. We just want to do a strictly fan question episode. So let's just dive right into it. Not a lot of movie news, but a lot of great questions here. Our first question comes to us from Pedro at pnice1208, and he says, what is the best movie so far this first half of the year? Now, Matt, you looked like a genius, I'm not going to lie, as much as I hate admitting it, on our 2017 preview episode for the year in movies, with picking one of your surprises of the year, your sleeper movie, as Split. What do you think so far? How has the first half of 2017 shaken up, especially compared to your expectations?
I'm going to go a little different route. If you read my little blog on the Bro 4 Squad, www.bro4squad.com, on 2017 movies, I'm going to pick Pirates 5.
Really?
And the reason is because Get Out and Split were fantastic movies, but because of their twist, the rewatchability goes down for me because I already know what's going to happen. Pirates 5, the first Pirates of the Caribbean, like I said, fantastic movie. The second one's okay. The third one gets worse, and it gets worse as it goes on. But Pirates 5, man, makes me excited for this franchise again. And I had to think of one movie I've seen in 2017 that I can't wait to be on DVD to rewatch again, and it's that one.
Nice.
So it's the only thing me and Banner agree on. I'm sure he'd say the same thing.
Mine is obviously The Great Wall with Matt Damon. Not. No, this has been a great year and a deep year for movies, I think. Obviously, Logan was incredible. So I divided mine into two. If we're talking tentpole film, probably Logan or Wonder Woman. I don't want to have to decide between those two. Please don't make me. But I think the best movie non-tentpole has got to be Split. Just such a great fucking surprise. Such a great performance. Get Out was an incredible surprise and a great theater experience, but Split was just otherworldly, and obviously the way that it ends. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you, but definitely worth checking out. Those two movies, I did not expect to have two surprises in the first half of the year that were as fun to watch as those two. So, great question, Pedro, because this is one of those years we're going to look back and be like, man, the depth in 2017 just kept coming at us. Next question comes from Luis E. De La Pena at LuisDP79, and he says, what's your favorite or fondest movie memory with your father? I'll lead this one off. A lot of good memories with both my parents, but one with my dad. I remember going to see the movie For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, which is a baseball movie. It was actually directed by Sam Raimi, who did all the original Spider-Mans. And I just thought it was, at the time as a kid, obviously I love sports movies. It is a love story at its core, but it's like the framing device is really cool. It's like a pitcher is, if you haven't seen it, a pitcher's throwing a perfect game, and in between each inning when he's in the dugout, he thinks back to another memory in his life with this girl who got away, which is a really cool framing device to watch a movie, and if you're going to trick a kid into watching a love story, that's the way to do it. And I just remember it was one of those cool movies where my dad and I both left, and we were like, that was fucking awesome. Well, I didn't say fucking because I was like 6, but we both said that was awesome. Matt, how about you? A good movie memory with your dad?
I was brought up a little differently than most. My dad would always have his friends over in the basement to drink beer and watch movies. And one night, he let me stay up with him and his 4 friends, and I would get them beer and stuff. And they watched a movie called Airplane. I had no clue why they were laughing. I was like 4 years old. But to this day, it's probably one of my favorite comedies. It still holds up today. It's that slapstick comedy, kind of like Naked Gun and stuff. And I still can't believe he let me watch it when I was 5 years old, but it's fucking fantastic. And if you have not seen Airplane, if you're around our age, around 28, maybe 26, and you have not seen it, pop it in, man. You will fucking love it. It's one of the greatest comedies ever.
Yeah, I'm a huge Leslie Nielsen fan. Another great movie for me, kind of similar to yours, was seeing Caddyshack with my dad, and same deal.
Yeah.
Having no idea why they're laughing, but just thinking about how cool it is. And this is a great question, Luis, especially around Father's Day. How cool it was that they just kind of let you be one of the bros for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Next question is from a really good friend of the pod, Chris Woodburn. Chris, thanks for letting us find this. At Chris Woodburn83. And he says, do you guys think Tom Holland will end up being a better Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield? Geiger, what do you think?
It's not in Holland's hands, just like it wasn't in Garfield's hands. It's all in Sony's hands, God help us. And you're only as good as your script and your supporting cast when everything comes down to it. If Marvel Studios has complete control, then I think Tom Holland will go down as the greatest Spider-Man ever. If Sony takes over, watch out Amazing Spider-Man 2, because they will fuck this up quicker than anything. Tom Holland fits the part. He's young. I think we're going to get more of a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, meaning not looks like 42, but I think it's going to be more poppier, more fun Spider-Man, not as deep as Garfield went. So if you like the deep shit where like Uncle Ben's dying and you almost feel like crying like in the first Amazing Spider-Man, I don't think you'll like Holland. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting from the trailers and just seeing him a little bit in Civil War.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Homecoming just to see how they handle, like, will they reference Uncle Ben's death? Will it just be understood and now Tony's the mentor figure? But I guess it really comes down to, Chris, how you rank the Peter Parkers, because I know a couple people have different opinions on Garfield versus Maguire. I'll say this. One thing that I really liked about the Mark Webb-directed Spider-Man movies was Garfield. I thought he did a really good job of playing the kid who sort of develops his confidence and, through prepubescence with his powers and kind of how he relates that to the rest of his life. And I also thought his relationship with Aunt May and Sally Field worked way better than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And I also liked how they went with Gwen Stacy over MJ, maybe just because it was a change of pace. So it's not going to be easy for Holland to top that, but I think he has potential. So I'll say yes. But again, to your point, if Sony runs in at the 11th hour and tries to fuck all this up, which I can see them doing, who knows? Another really good question we found is from Jose at Mr. Universe 719, and he says, or he wants to know, what are some of your favorite movie scenes so far this year? Geiger, I picked a bunch of these, so I'll let you go first because I probably will step on your toes here.
I think we're going to step on everyone's toes. A Banner or Cyclops on the Logan ending scene.
Ugh.
Wherever they have to cross, they turn to the X. I mean, is anything better than that? You want to talk about that for a while, then we can just talk about what's left, because that's the best scene I've seen, not only this year, but probably in the last 10 years since Heath Ledger was the Joker. That was a fantastic scene.
And real quick, we did a movie commentary on Logan where we watch it along with you. Even if you don't want to watch the whole movie with us, although we had a lot of fun and we were drunk, I would recommend it. Just fast forward to the end and just check out that scene. And it's like being at a funeral, how powerful that scene was. It's incredible. So that's up there. Another one for me, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opening scene was fucking awesome. Yeah. And James Gunn shows that he knows how to start a movie. And another one that I think you liked, and on our Fate of the Furious review, I think we both said that was our favorite scene in the movie, is the end scene where Jason Statham has the fight on the plane while protecting the baby. That was one of my more fun scenes in the theater this year.
I like the Get Out auction scene. I thought
that was a creepy one, too.
Huge turn, and I started thinking, what... during that point, the whole time I'm thinking, okay, does it have a deeper meaning? Right at that point, watching that in theaters, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's
what is this? Whenever they were doing the silent, he would go 2, 3, and then slit his throat and be like, okay, that's done and stuff, and they're auctioning him off. I thought that was when I'm like, damn, this movie has taken a turn to, almost stuff that people don't want to talk about racial stuff. I mean, we're usually pretty fun here, but seriously, that's a deeper issue that not a lot of people like to talk about, that Peele just went up there and just fucking brought it up. I also like the ending scene to Unbreakable, man. Split that ties it into Unbreakable. I thought that was fantastic. It made it, I know that you weren't going to spoil it, but if you haven't listened to our Split review, then go listen to that and come back to this. But that made that a totally different fucking movie. I thought I was watching one thing, but no, I'm watching an origin story on a villain. That was fantastic to me. That was one of the best scenes, too, of 2017.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'll just go back in the description, everybody, and I'll put spoilers and I'll just list out the movies because we can't fucking.
It's June.
I know, but you never know. Some people maybe they were on vacation for 4 months. They have a cool ass job. They can just do that.
Or in jail.
Or in jail. And hey, congrats on the parole hearing. Welcome to the real world again. Our next question comes from Foodmancing at Foodmancing. That makes perfect sense. And he or she wants to know, what underseen 90s movie deserves a reboot? Pump Up the Volume, anyone? That was a movie that I literally had to look up to remember what the fuck it was, and I was like, wow. But let's go 90s, man. You and I are kids of the 90s, so we can talk 90s shit all day. One that I was going to suggest, but then I actually realized it's getting a reboot, is The Rocketeer. Geiger, I don't know, do you remember that movie at all? Did you ever see it when you were a kid?
No.
Why do you say it like that? It's fucking awesome. It's cooler than you are.
I might have seen it and not remembered it, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
It was one of Jennifer Connelly's first movies. The late Timothy Dalton, of course, who passed away recently, but was James Bond, was in it. Basically, it's like Iron Man, but not with a rich guy and set in the 1920s. So it's a dude who builds this rocket pack thing, and he basically becomes like a fucking superhero. It's awesome. But they're rebooting it, so what do I know? Apparently Hollywood is one step ahead of me. Geiger, how about you? A 90s movie that maybe people don't know about that you think needs to be rebooted.
God, I kind of cheated on this one. People know about this movie, but I just want to bring it out there. I want them to redo The Matrix, starring Tom Cruise, because he's fucking up the Mummy franchise, so why not fuck up The Matrix too? And I want Russell Crowe to play Morpheus. I want them to I just want Tom Cruise to just fuck up every single 90s thing that we ever had. And just keep fucking it up. If not, if that didn't work for him, then do Saved by the Bell, the wedding movie. Redo that one.
I'm sure we could get Screech is in prison too. I think. I bet he would fucking come at it. He'd be like, "Can Screech be in jail? We can film some jail scenes for this."
I want Zac Efron as Zach Morris, and I want The Rock as AC Slater.
Wow, this thing is casting itself right before our very eyes. All right, our next question comes to us from Troy Brinkley at prettyboym_sofa. Wow, that's a good one. And Troy wants to know, over under 50% on Hugh Jackman showing up in Deadpool 2 in the classic Wolverine outfit. Please and thank you. I'll jump in here first real quick. I think there is a 100% chance Hugh Jackman shows up in Deadpool 2, but I think there's a 0% chance it's as Wolverine. And even if it were, I would say even a negative percent chance he would have the classic outfit on. Knowing Deadpool, I could see some meta cameo where he's playing Hugh Jackman or something. But I think he'll be in the movie in some capacity, even if it's like on TV or something. What do you think?
I'll do you one better. I'll take your 100% and parlay it into X-Men Dark Phoenix, because I think he's going to show up in both.
Oh,
don't.
Don't ruin Logan.
I'm not even kidding. He's going to show up in Deadpool 2. I agree with you as some sort of joke. If the joke is him dressing up as Wolverine for Halloween or something, if that counts as him having the classic outfit, I guess. But he's going to show up in Dark Phoenix. It's in the past, and Fox has to have him because they make shitty movies. But a shitty movie with Hugh Jackman makes money. However, Logan and Deadpool was not a shitty movie, but they make shitty X-Men movies. They make shitty X-Men movies, so they need him in it. That takes place in like the 80s.
I'll feel so cheated if we never get the classic Wolverine costume in any of his actual movies, and then he shows up in a Deadpool movie as a joke. And
you won't. He'll show up in Dark Phoenix in the classic Wolverine thing.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm already dreading that. Banner is somewhere screaming at his iPod saying, "It'll be good!" Our last question, and this is one of my favorites, comes to us from Jonathan Peck at JPeck1098. And he says, "Hey guys, I'm about to graduate from high school next week. Congrats, Jonathan. That's awesome, dude. And about to go to college. What is the best film set in college?" Geiger, you and I fucking love college movies. This is going to take a while for us to answer because there's so many great ones. I'll let you go first just to get the ball rolling.
I hate to answer his question with another question, but I'm like, bro, which decade? I know it's kind of timed, but if you go back and watch it, the original Animal House is fucking fantastic.
Oh, it's a classic, dude.
You have to watch it. That's like 70s, 80s. 90s Man Road Trip is fantastic.
Wow,
that's a
yeah.
movie people don't talk about very much, but whenever I was in 6th grade, we were sneaking into the theater to see that son of a bitch. And people probably don't know who Tom Green is, but he was the man back in the day. That's a fantastic movie. The original Van Wilder, I think, is fantastic.
Another
Go
great
back and
one.
rewatch that. And an honorable mention, Accepted's a pretty good movie, too, if you want to do college movies.
Accepted is really good. So here's a couple that I came up with. Can we count Old School as a college movie?
That's why I was wondering if we could count that, because that would probably be the king.
Actually. I mean, the entire
That's
plot
fantastic.
is based in... They're not technically college students, although Dean Pritchard was kind of proven wrong on that one. But the whole thing takes place in college, and obviously the whole premise is centered around a fraternity. Some other great ones. 22 Jump Street is a great college movie. Orange County is one of my favorite ones. Now, technically doesn't take place with college students, but again, a lot of it takes place on a college campus, and the whole premise of it is about getting into college. And another one that really gets my nostalgia factor going is American Pie 2. I think it was a great follow-up to the first one. It's like a summer break in between college, and if you had friends like me that you were really close with in high school, but they went to different colleges from you, you know that summer break is when you actually get to meet up with them again. So, Jonathan, if you're going to a school away from your boys, don't worry, watch American Pie 2 and you get to see how wild your guys' summers can still be together.
I just came up with one, but Neighbors, I'll say also, because Neighbors 2 sucked. But the first Neighbors is fantastic. That's a fantastic movie set in college, too.
I think we can just agree the whole premise of a college movie is so ripe for, not even a comedy, man. It's like, there's so many other things you can do. It's still kind of like a late coming of age. It's like a coming into your, you can do fucking anything in the college setting. It's great. There's not enough good ones.
Great question.
Great question. All right, guys. Great show. Fuck, that was a great Air Jordan episode. For Matt Geiger, I am Jeff Hornacek. Thank you for checking out the Bro4 Squad. Give us a follow on Twitter at Bro4 Squad. How about a like on Facebook? Bro4 Squad Podcast. That's 4 words. If you could subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, we'd appreciate it. Bro4 Squad, 3 words. Leave us a review on iTunes. Let us know how awesome or how shitty we are if you could. And also, check out everything we're doing on our website, bro4squad.com. One thing before we let you go, be sure to tweet at us or comment at this video what movie quote we reference at the beginning of the show. We'll give you a shout out next episode. Again, we're the Bro4 Squad, and we will check you next time. Austin, Massachusetts.